is the point of field day? There are a number of things. First of all, to practice your ability to provide emergency communications in case something goes on. Second of all, to have fun.
We love field day because on field day we arrive, everyone's so excited, and the first thing we do is we put up our super antennas that are old and beat up now, but hopefully to be made whole again. And our group has to push the antenna up. After we put it together, then we put down the guide wires, and then we rest.
The purpose of this was to take several of our beam antennas that we use at field day and rework the physical connections of the elements to the boom, check measurements, and kind of make them a little more sturdy and easier to assemble when we're under the time pressure of field day.
We're repairing a beam antenna. It's called a Yagi antenna. And a Yagi or beam antenna focuses the radio energy much like a flashlight shines a light in one direction, as opposed to a light bulb that radiates the light in all directions. So by aiming the radio signals in one direction, we can talk to stations further away. So we aim towards the East Coast, we can talk to stations much with a stronger signal, and stations further away than we could if we had a regular antenna.
We scheduled a little antenna party. We were looking for a location that had a flat floor, and it turned out we got a volunteer for the phone company to let us use the facilities here. So we have a flat floor as a reference to straighten out our antennas. We've had some problems at field day with a couple of our HF antennas, and this is the perfect place to come and set those up so that when we get to field day, we won't have to do a lot of extra measuring or having trouble with them staying in alignment, and we can get the maximum performance out of those.
The antennas are so unwieldy in their length that it does take several hands to jockey the main boom and the various elements into position and hold them while two people to hold an element while somebody else sights down the main boom to see if it's horizontal and in line with other elements.
Well, this antenna that we're working on today is cut for the 20-meter frequency, which is about like 14 megahertz, 14 to 14.3 in that neighborhood. And the antenna is cut that way because that's the size of the wavelength that we're dealing with this frequency.
The problems we've had in the past is we would kind of set them up on the ground and they would look good to us, but then we'd get them up in the air and an element would turn. Something would go askew, something would get out of alignment up on top of the tower, and we'd have to take it back down again and spend time doing that to set it back up again and hoist it back up and hope that it would all still stay clamped in one place and still be the same antenna that we saw it on the ground. And for years we've fought a problem where elements would skew each other, and it wouldn't work as well if it did that. And sometimes we'd come up to the contest and just run the contest with skewed antennas because we didn't have time to take them down again and fix them. So with these improvements today, they'll go up, they'll stay up, and they won't be turning around and doing unpredictable things to us.
Basically today what we did is we put the antenna arrays together, and then we changed out a lot of the bolts. We color-coded all of the ends so that everything goes in exactly where it's supposed to be next time in the field. So hopefully this will speed up the field day process, a setup a little bit, and also it'll make it hopefully a little bit easier for anybody to come in and set up the antennas.
We had quite a group assemble here today. We've got a very convenient hardware store next door to us, and that has helped get some extra hardware that we have needed on the antennas before, but we never actually took time to set them up. So now we've been able to use the facility here and get our dimensions down and get our antennas just kind of lined up in an optimum condition here, so that when we take them to field day, they'll just go up and work and we won't have to worry about them.
It certainly looks like we've improved identification of the different elements of the antenna, so that we know which one goes where, and have built some brackets so that the elements all stay in the same horizontal plane.
We've had enough extra hardware to go on. We weren't trying to add much weight to the antennas, because these are ones that we walk up. We don't have mechanical lifts or anything to get them in the air. We have to walk them up on masting, so they have to stay fairly lightweight. And the changes we've done today haven't added much weight to it, yet they've made them mechanically very rigid, very strong in some critical places. That's kind of what we want to do. A simple hardware. It hasn't taken custom-made anything to hold these where we want them to stay, and we've set them both up to our dimensions.
I would say that it was nice that people brought their tools in, and that everybody is willing to just jump in and help hold the light, or change out drill bits, or do whatever to make sure the process is streamlined.
The antenna was modeled by one of our club members to come up with the exact measurements to reach peak performance at that particular frequency. And so that's why it ends up being so big.
These antennas are modeled specially for the site that we use at field day. There isn't any ham here that could take it to their home QTH and get the same results. These antennas are specially modeled and constructed only for field day. So they only get one use a year is all they get. But we like the performance that they're able to deliver, so they were worth fixing up.
Now, field day is done all over the country. There are clubs and people all over the country doing the same thing, trying to make contact.
The part I like best is the camaraderie with the guys, putting up the equipment, helping each other. Generally, somebody needs something. They might need an extra generator, they might need fuel, they might need a tool, and so we show up with everything we have, and we all help each other and get the job done.
I think that the key skill required today is probably having patience and the endurance to get through to the end of this.
It does take people, and it's fun, bunch of fun guys to be around.
I think we've been very successful. Going on over there very much. I don't want to do that.
Tell me what we're doing.
What I want to do is this. What have we done here today?
Yeah, well, what's the point?